I hate introductions, don't you? But it seems like they're always necessary. So here goes. I'm Ashley. I'm a wife, mom, pastor, and missionary's kid, which is double trouble if you didn't know. And if you're in this space, we're here to learn about who God is, who we are in Him, and how to do faith in the real, meaning the real messy. Hi, welcome back to this episode of Chats with Princess Sharkbait, ooh ha ha.
And Unicorn Fluff Foo Foo.
You got it. I'm so proud of you. So this episode is all about fun today. That's
but we
the
have
topic.
to be very serious about this.
I'm sorry.
It's a very serious
yes,
topic.
We're not gonna have fun today.
You're like, that's dorky.
I can't say that seriously when I'm wearing Yoda ears and looking at your unicorn horn.
Why shark then?
Well, I don't have shark ears. Shark fins. That's what I need, a shark fin. Yeah, all right.
Wow. So, we start off with a bang.
Yeah, this was a ringer. A lot of the episodes that I've been doing are pretty serious topics, and I wanted to lighten it up because I got to thinking of the fact that God is the God of fun, and you and I love fun.
Yes.
And so we just need a fun episode, I think. And I tried to record this by myself. Guess what?
It wasn't fun.
It wasn't fun. And so I called you up and I'm like, can you please come back? Because everybody loved you and you're fun. And we have this pretty streamer.
Oh, man. Well, see, like, here's the thing. Like Ashley and I we are never at a loss for words to say and fun to have. So if there's ever like I said before this we went live, this is our natural state, everyone.
Yes, this is the new look.
Yes. I mean, we've been hiding these forever.
Right.
We're finally able to bring them to light. So
it's, it's all the rage. We're going to set new trends.
Hashtag acceptance, right? Like, this is what it is right here.
Absolutely. If you are on anything but YouTube, you can't see us right now. I'm so sorry for you.
Oh, well, that should give them incentive.
It should.
But
we have coffee. We have mint Oreos because that's the best.
Cheers.
Cheers. And we're probably going to eat.
Did you literally take mine apart?
No, I took mine apart.
Well, mine is like...
That's because it's how it's meant to be.
Oh. Okay.
Apart. So...
Okay, all right then.
You and I both like a podcaster named NEF Downs.
Oh, man!
She's so awesome.
Talk about the queen of fun.
Yes, and if you don't know who we're talking about, you can find her in her podcast, which is called...
That Sounds Fun. We were supposed to get together.
I actually hesitated. All right, try again.
That sounds fun.
And she has been so inspiring to me.
She's going to love this, by the way. She's
so.
going to
Annie,
watch this. I'm going to email her 50 times with this link. I'm like, you need to watch
We
this.
love you. We're really excited. No, but she's been so inspiring to me because I get in my I don't know, my schedule and the way things need to go, and I get really serious, and sometimes it's just good to let loose and have fun, even if that means unicorn horns.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is not how I expected to spend this afternoon, and it is a riot.
Yeah, you had no idea, right?
No clue when I walked in the door.
So, okay. How many times have you heard this? Christians don't have fun.
Oh, the funny part is I've heard this so many times from non-Christians looking at Christians. And to be honest, like, eventually it gets to the point where if enough people are saying something to you, it's probably because that's how you are perceived. And I think that's true with Christians. What we look like is like we're not comfortable in our own skin. Like, we're just constantly looking for something to get upset about. I'm like, really? Come on.
Yes.
No.
It's true. It's fair. But I think that's one reason I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because we can have fun. We do have fun. We laugh a lot. And like I mentioned, I feel like I have a shark fin. Sorry, I'm over here cookie decorating.
Wow.
God is the author of fun.
Yeah.
And so it shouldn't be something that we're afraid of.
Yeah.
And now some of this I think can be age. I mean, I definitely went through that phase in my life where I was like, Mom, you're so embarrassing. And everything had to be just so.
And that's when she was having fun.
Oh, yeah. She
Isn't
was
it
having
funny?
a blast.
Some people are having fun while some people are not having fun.
I was so concerned, though, about what people were going to think, if they were going to laugh at me, if they would think I was weird. And then somewhere along the way, it just didn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
I just wanted to have fun.
I describe this time, this transition of adulthood, I remember literally, this is so weird that it happened this way, but I remember, like, I was in the middle of college, and I just woke up one morning, and I suddenly realized, I feel like I've gotten perspective. Like, I literally felt like I was a lens, and I finally, like, zoomed out and saw, like, oh my goodness, I don't care anymore. And it was amazing because I literally was so excited. I ran up to my mom. I'm like, Mom, like, oh my goodness, like, I don't feel like I care anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a younger generation thing, but if we don't realize that it's happening, or if it's something, like, if we don't see it, then it becomes a lifelong thing, because it's always a tendency. It's
Yes.
wanting to be liked. It's wanting to be, like, seen and heard. Like, it's that desire for people to like us, I guess.
Right. I have to share the story about my 10-year-old because
Please share while I eat my Oreo.
yeah, he is, so I just said he's 10, and a few years ago, he was very much aware of what people might think about him, and he was concerned about that. And I understand that. I resonate with that so often. So it was like, well, I don't know if I want to wear this because someone might laugh at me. Or I don't know if I want to play this because someone might think I'm weird. And so I was really challenging him and working with him on this idea. I said, 2 questions. Is what you're doing something that displeases God? If the answer is no, then you should do it. Is it something that you enjoy doing? If the answer is yes, you should do it.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
like,
it
don't care
doesn't
about other people.
matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I'm going to throw out a shout out to some guys, some dude perfect guys. FYI, if they ever see this, my kids are totally comparing my journey on YouTube to you. They're like, are you making money like Dude Perfect yet? Are you going to be famous like Dude Perfect yet? No, not quite. And that's okay. I'm over here having fun. But Dude Perfect kind of changed the perspective for my son, despite everything his mom was telling him, because I don't really know very much, you know?
Well, and she's a girl. So.
Yeah, discredited. But he was watching these guys, these grown men, having fun, doing crazy things, not a care in the world
Making a
about
total
what
fool out of themselves.
making
And
a
having
killing
a
while they're at
lovely
it.
time.
Yeah, so he has just been so inspired by them, I think.
Yeah.
And they have a segment called Will Unfortunate, and they have a host, and he has got this big afro hair and big goofy glasses. And so our 10-year-old said, I want to be that. I want to be that person. And so we had to order an afro wig
That's
and big goofy
hilarious.
glasses. Get this. This character on their show has a little dance. Our 10-year-old put on the garb, went out on our porch, and when he would see cars coming, he would start doing the goofy dance to see if they would like honk or anything. He was having the time of his life. I remember recording him that day and just thinking, I'm so happy he's here because he's starting to get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what anybody else is
Yeah.
going to say.
Yeah.
If you're doing something that gives God honor and having fun can
Yeah.
give him honor
I love that. Oh my goodness.
and you're enjoying it, then go for it. And if somebody laughs at you, oh
Who
well.
cares?
Yeah, doesn't
They're
matter.
clearly not having a good time.
Maybe they don't know how to have fun.
Maybe they don't know how to. I love this. I love this because it's like, just let it go. Like, sometimes, and I think this kind of comes back to like the schedule and like the having everything like timed out. Like, because I can be this way too. I literally like felt convicted this morning because I was in a training and I was like, I literally had like Zoom meetings all morning back to back, and my sister came in and she was like, hey, like, here to give you a hug and give you a hard time because I know you're busy. And like, honestly, I was like, okay, come on, like, right now is not a good time. And I could feel myself like getting worked up, you know, like when I suppose it happens like when the boys are like right in the moment where you're like, why are you bugging me right now? Like, it just feels like this is the perfect time. And sometimes it's like literally in the grand scheme of things, why does it matter? Like, okay, like, whatever.
Right.
It doesn't need to be perfect. And so when we're so stuck on the schedule and we're so stuck on what we have it looking like, we can miss out on some of the most amazing, beautiful moments of our life because we're not really open to them.
Yes, this is so true. This is actually something I've been working through personally, is recognizing that part of being healthy isn't just eating well or exercising. Or exercising. It is taking time to do things that fill you with joy. And again, I think we often feel like that's selfish, but when we recognize that doing those things that bring us joy gives God joy and gives those around us joy, it changes everything. I was telling Eric, I said, you know what? I'm recognizing that me learning to do this, to stop the schedule, to do something that's fun, something that's going to fill my cup, is honestly giving back to those around me. It's giving to my kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they don't care if our house is immaculate.
Yeah.
They're going to remember the fun things.
Yeah,
The things that embarrass them, like Yoda ears.
Oh, man. If the boys came down here, they'd be like, what are they doing? Mm-hmm. Okay, this is also on the topic, because I actually want to point out the mint Oreos, because it's no, in a good way, in a good way.
That's okay.
You're like, I don't care.
I'm just eating them.
And Ashley's like, I don't care what you think, right? Like, that's literally the theme of this. I don't care. It's amazing how sometimes you can take something that is normally, like, this is going to sound so weird, but I've had times where I've eaten a chocolate chip cookie and I was like, nope, I didn't need that. And then there's other times where I ate a chocolate chip cookie and I'm like, I literally, like, my body is like, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm literally good with that. And it's not good. You're not, like, whatever. I'm just good with that. It's because it's about, again, it kind of comes back to the theme of, like, gratitude. Like, being grateful for the things all around you and not being so stuck on all the details and them falling into place. Like, even our food, what we eat, what we wear, how we look, like, all of those things. It's like, let it go. Let it go. If it's bugging you, if it's stressing you, if it's overwhelming you, let it go. Like, literally just let it go.
Yeah.
And have fun!
I'm so glad you changed it. You were saying let it go, and I'm going to
Let
Disney
it go,
songs. Stop.
let it go.
I have a almost 5-year-old niece, and she heard that song come on, and she's like, oh! She was so happy.
My hero!
Yes.
Yeah.
So happy. I love working with kids. So I get to work in the preschool department at our church, and I love it. And part of the reason I love it so much is because they're just having fun.
Yeah, they don't care either.
Yeah, and it's fun to
what
feel
it was
that freedom.
like to be a kid. Like,
Yeah.
the kid is in every single one of us, and it gets to come out any day of the week.
You play with Play-Doh.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
like, just have fun and let loose a little bit. I think that's, as an adult, we just lose sight of it so easily.
Oh my goodness. So I think a lot of it is we don't actually physically give ourselves the time. Mm-hmm. We're so, like, nailed down to the minute. We think that, I mean, honestly, I remember going into high school and then going into college thinking, well, okay, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of this idea, like, this sort of, like, just reserved. I was kind of just reserved to the idea that apparently life is just going to be a bunch of this and it's over. And it's so funny because I've never been happier. Like, it's so cute. I just, like, there's times where I'm like, this is the kid in me. Like, whatever. I don't care. And my younger sister is so cute because she's 16 and she's like, she hasn't hit that point yet where she's like, that is okay. But I bring it out of her now and then because I'm like, come on, girl.
That's
like,
good.
come on.
It will come.
Yeah.
You know, I can't help but ask because I think a lot of it for me, a lot of my reservation when it came to having fun as a younger person was, well, I want to be mature. I don't want to be immature.
There's this weird, it's so true because there's this weird desire to pretend. Like, we just want to be something. We want to, like, make everybody know that we're ahead of our age and we're trying to, like, be the best and all these things, and it comes out as very artificial maturity that no one's buying it.
Right.
Like, I thought everybody was buying it, but, like, I literally look at, like, that age group in high school and I'm like, girls, just let it go. Like, it doesn't matter. And you're gonna get to college and out of college and you're gonna look back and say, that was so silly. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's just letting people have that, right?
Yes.
Having that moment where they realize, okay, well, I just spent my whole high school, blah, 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 like, let it go again. But it's just, sometimes it's funny to watch it because I'm like, really? And I probably was exactly the same at my age.
I definitely was. I think I didn't realize that part of fun is confidence.
Yeah.
It's having the confidence not to worry about what anybody else thinks, how anybody else might label you. But I think it's fair to say, I think we should bring this up. Fun looks different for different people.
Totally.
And so it's okay if your definition of fun isn't like, woo, out there, because that's just not who some people are.
That's how we are.
Yeah. And when we're together, it's ridiculous.
Jazz hands, if I had them. Jazz hands! Jazz hands! Come on, jazz hands!
Sorry. Okay, can I have to tell this funny story about you and our youngest?
We just transitioned into funny stories. This is perfect.
Yeah, this is perfect, right? because this is how we plan to end it, folks. Katie, you have the best sense of humor when it comes to your lack of hands.
Yes.
And so our youngest is 8. Yet I have tried. Like, this is my motto as a mom. I've tried. I tried.
I tried.
Okay,
I really
I taught
tried.
them the things, but I don't know where anything went. And so this child cannot eat anything without it looking like a bomb exploded all over him and all over the floor.
Yes, this
So-
is true. I know exactly which one you're talking about right now.
We met at the donut shop one morning. You surprised the boys. It was somebody's birthday.
This was great.
The boys fought over who could sit next to
Yeah.
you. And our youngest was sitting there with his powdered donut. Do you want to finish?
Yeah, well, it was just so ironic because Ashley and I are cracking up because here I am, like just eating my donut, not making a mess, and he's over here, like all, like the hands are in
Covered.
it, the face, the clothes, like everything is like powdered sugar everywhere, and he's just like having a good time, and Ashley and I are like, this is the irony here is just unreal.
Yeah, and you go, I don't have hands. What's your excuse?
Because he was like, what's wrong, Mom? Like, this is life. I'm like, do you see me?
Yeah, he's
covered in
having
powdered sugar.
So he has no more excuses,
no,
thanks to you.
no.
We bring you up frequently.
Oh, man. Well,
Remember
and-
when Miss Katie said?
This is cute because it kind of comes back to the confidence piece because it's interesting. People ask all the time, like, how do you get confidence? And it's so funny because, like, we have this, it's almost like confidence is like this woo-woo, like this weird thing out there that some people have it and some people don't. We don't really know how. When we're talking about it, especially in a spiritual sense, which I think is really the only way, our world talks about it in a lot of different ways. But the reality is, like, knowing who we are in Christ, when we're in that space, it doesn't matter what people say to us.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like,
Right.
then it's like, it's freeing to be joyful. And I always tell people, especially like when we're talking about skills, when we're holding ourselves back by saying, well, I can't do this because I can't do it well. Or even like podcasting, right? It was a stretch to get started.
Yes.
But now you've built confidence because you're competent. Like you've learned, you've practiced. You're more comfortable with it. So sometimes it's just jumping in. And when we jump in and we don't care, that's when things actually get created because we're not holding ourselves back by being like, well, I want this to be perfect before I do it. Guess what? That never happens.
Right.
You can't be perfect at something without even starting.
When you said a word, it comes back to like fun is joy.
Yeah.
Right? And
Oh
so
my
I
goodness.
get to have fun doing this because I am free from that pressure of it has to be perfect.
Yeah.
It just gets to be joyful.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
it gets to be
awesome.
messy. Like
Oh, yeah.
part of I think about like the times where we're messy, where
Mm-hmm.
things are like literally physically messy and we're like having a ball. It's so cute like when I come here and you're like, well, and I'm just like, it's
every
so
week.
fun. It's
Every
like
week.
whatever. Like
You
who
should
cares?
see our house right now because we just finished a weekend of camping.
Should
And
we show
so-
them?
We should. Can we?
We can.
We will.
We will.
We will. We'll do
We'll
it.
do like a
Let's-
Facebook
Yes.
live or
I'll have to
this is you being stretchy
it.
and being like, I don't care.
I don't care. But I'm like, But no, our house, we just came in and we just started dumping stuff. And then I was like, everything had sand in it. It rained.
Well, speaking of funny, you have to tell them the whole catastrophe about
Man.
this.
Without fail. Okay, growing up, we tent camped. And we had this orange tent, brownish orange. I don't know why the color's important, but it is.
It's important.
It is. It's the details, people. And every time we would go, it would rain. And every time it would rain, we would find a new leak. And this was like the bane of my dad's existence when we would camp.
Oh.
And we've continued the tradition.
You have. I'm like,
have.
why are you going camping again? Haven't you learned your
No.
We're
So
doing
we
it
have
again.
a new tent, but we haven't really had a good rain since we've had this new tent. So we were at Lake Michigan, away from our campsite, and we saw this wall of water coming. And we ran up under the shelter, and it poured, and it lightning, and there was thunder, everything. And then the sun came out. Great. Went back to the water.
Okay.
It did that day. But then it disappeared again because more rain came and more storms came. And so finally we thought we just need to go back to the campsite. It was pouring. It wasn't going to end anytime soon. There was a stream, like a little river of water. It's not a stream, it's a river.
Nope, it's a river. It's a river.
Going through our campsite directly under our tent. And Eric had put a tarp underneath, but we weren't worried about water because guess what? There wasn't any rain forecasted in the weekend.
Yep.
Yeah. So he had folded the tarp underneath, but he did it in such a way that it was actually retaining water. And so we're like in the van, it's pouring. I said, I can't stand it. I have to go in and see what's happening in there. I stepped into the water tent and it felt like I was standing on a water bed. We had a water tent. And I was like sloshing, but there wasn't water in the tent.
It was just like
right. So I'm like, yay, we can do this. And then I realized there was water. There was one corner. I think there was just so much water it saturated.
Yeah.
And of course, it was the one corner where there were some sleeping bags and pillows. Like,
too bad. I'm a little bit bummed it wasn't yours. Just to be honest.
That's because I got spoiled. Actually, it's because I got older. And I said, I'm not doing the floor thing anymore, so I want an air mattress that's high.
Oh, yeah. Smart.
Mm-hmm. So we were safe. The poor children were not, because they haven't graduated to that point.
They haven't graduated. I see how it is.
Someday.
You know how they say, like, children first?
Yeah, no.
Not in this situation.
No, because see, I did my time
You're like,
when I was young. I slept on the ground. You do it too.
They need to experience, how to become men, right?
Right. It makes them thankful later in life.
Well, so then they came back.
We came back for the night. We were only an hour away. So we came back. We dried some things. I slept really well in my own bed.
Like, yes!
It's awesome. Had coffee before we left. And then we had a great day the next day.
Good.
But it's just that idea of like, okay, well, I can be upset about the situation or I can have fun with this because we have a water tent instead of a water bed.
I know.
And I get to like bounce around in there and have some fun. And it was fine. So this
is the beauty of like letting go of the schedule. I just keep on coming back to it because it's something I think about so many times. Like just as human beings, we are so busy, busy.
We pride ourselves on.
Yeah, it's like this like
the busy badge.
Heart. Yeah, like
I call it the busy badge.
I'm sacrificing because of my busyness and blah blah blah. Or I'm like you can't like I'm unreachable because I'm busy. Or like I think it's this level of like worthiness in a weird way. It's like, well, we are good enough because we're busy. Which is so dumb.
It's as if we measure success by how busy we are.
Totally.
I've been guilty of this so often in my life. And one thing that I think Corona gave me was a schedule that was wiped and realizing that I don't want to be that busy again.
No.
And
never going back.
Yeah, I was just sharing with my parents recently. I said, I have become so much more protective of our calendar.
Yeah.
Because I do not want to be that person again.
Yeah.
Where I'm stretched thin, busy, but so busy that I am just depleted and really unable to give my best self to those around me.
Yeah.
Like, so.
I found myself, like, I had so many evening things before COVID hit. And I realized, oh my goodness, it's not good for my body. It's not good for my brain. I start winding down at like 4. So what I realized, and now I do hardly any outside social activities at night. And I'm A-okay with people who are like, well, why don't you want to come? I'm like, you know what? Meet me for breakfast at like 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm going to be there.
So you just have fun at breakfast time, not the evening time. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Giving you a hard time. All right, so we were going to wrap up with some story times. What? It's the ears. You keep staring at my ears. That's rude, Katie. Rude.
Is that
you shouldn't stare.
insensitive?
Yes. I'm feeling offended right now.
Okay. She just looks different than me.
What?
You look different.
I can't be different.
You're totally different.
No,
we need to
be like
the
everybody else.
You're totally different.
Okay, when you did your voice,
you're totally different.
I can't help. I asked Katie to read a pirate book to our youngest recently, and she tried to do that voice, and he was not amused.
I'm like, "Arr, matey," but it just wasn't working.
He was like, you can read the book, but not in that voice.
He was like so not having it, and he thought he was way better. I personally thought like he probably would have gotten at least like maybe a callback, but not really.
No. You were cut. I'm pretty sure. Sorry. Okay, we need a fun Katie story now. I mean, I gave you one little one, like the powdered donuts and your humor with no hands, which was funny. Okay, I'm gonna give a fun Katie story since you are obviously
clearly protecting my Katie stories.
Okay, Katie and I have a slight age difference. One of us is more wise than the other. No, I can't even say that.
One is older than the other.
Okay, you just had to go there.
Notice I said older, not old. It's
Not
one is old,
yet.
one is young.
One is old. Wow. Folks, you will never see her on this podcast again because I'm
Yes,
going to
you
bury
will.
her body.
Right.
Katie came over before this podcast ever came to life, and she was helping me set things up, being awesome, which thank you so much for everything because you have been amazing.
It comes with the price of this,
Yeah.
banter.
That's okay, I can handle it. I'm older,
Oh yeah, she's
more
more
experienced.
experienced. Yeah.
So Katie asked to turn a movie on, and it was something on Disney Plus, something I'd never heard of, whatever, sure. So we turned it on as we were working, just to have some noise and ambience going on, and a song came on in the movie. And I'm like, oh, it's been so long since I've heard this song. And Katie said, you know this song?
I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I used to listen to this as a teenager. I'm like, it's so old.
Yes. Now, then she decided to start watching and asking about every song that came on, and there were several songs.
This was
in
awesome.
movie.
I was so excited because I was like, I kept on looking
You
over at
did.
you. I was like,
Do you know this
you
one?
know this one?
You know this one?
You know this one? You're
I
like,
got to the point where I was really tempted to lie. Like, no, I never
No,
heard this
no,
one.
no,
But
no.
I couldn't help it. I was like, yes, it's been so long. It's been so long. So that just opened a can of worms.
well, and then
Yeah.
we had to go through the journals and the old pictures
Yeah.
and the videos, like the family
You
videos.
did. Hey, you have reached a whole new level with me. You
Oh
saw
my
the family
goodness.
videos.
Oh my goodness. The
Yeah.
family videos were the best.
Mm-hmm.
But it just, I mean, like, okay, in your day,
In my day. Anybody older than me is highly offended right
the
now.
big baggy shorts, like the big,
Oh,
like
yeah.
no,
Well, okay.
no.
I agree.
Just
but
no.
I also had, I don't know if you saw it in the videos, you had to if I wore it all the time. It was an extra large, like super big for me, white t-shirt with VeggieTale characters across the chest.
Yes, I
It
remember
was
this.
super awesome. I was so cool. And I had a Winnie the Pooh watch. And I was 13. And I was rocking it.
She was so cool, guys.
I
Look at her
mean,
face.
I
She's
never
so cool.
got made fun of at school ever.
Nope, that was a lie. Too bad we don't have like a thing on the screen. It's like, like the big
Liar,
eyes.
liar.
Wow.
That was before. Well, no. I was gonna say that I had reached this point where I didn't care what people thought, but I most definitely did. I just didn't want to
You're
give up
like,
my VeggieTale
no,
shirt.
No. Everyone loves me. Can't you see all
Yes.
the face? No.
But Katie, the whole point of the story that I was going to tell you is it just opens this can of worms with you, which has been so hilarious because I think most of the songs I've sent you, you're like, yeah, I've never heard of that.
Well, and like, okay, so the story behind Johnny Cash is like, so
Are you actually going to publicly admit?
yeah, no, totally. I know nothing. Weird. What a random guy. Like I just have a hard time even. It's like my mom. I've heard about him, but I've never really listened to his songs. And then I'm reading through the titles.
Yes.
And I'm like, what in the world?
Folsom Prison?
Yeah, like I was like, what? And then
Walk
you're
the
like,
line? Are these songs? And I'm like, well, maybe the words aren't completely wholesome.
you won't.
But you have to know these songs.
That was the funny part because we had this conversation and you and Eric were in the car and I said, so should I have my mom look over these? And Eric's like, no.
Nope. Well, and I think we really reached a low point when I sent you some Garth Brooks, who you also were not familiar
No,
with.
of course. Like what? No.
Friends in Low Places, and Eric and I are belting it in the car, and she's like,
And suddenly it's
"What?"
like,
she's like,
oh,
yeah.
oh.
It's that moment you have with
well,
kids.
clarification. We just want you to know.
Yeah.
It's like when you watch a movie with someone and you have to let them know, like, okay, well, there's this part, like we're gonna skip through it or whatever. It's like it's one of those moments where I'm like, the whole song.
I mean, Friends in Low Places, that should give it away, but now you've been edumacated.
Edumacated. Wow.
Wow. Speaking of low places, I think we just found one.
We have. Here we are. We've let you guys in on all of our secrets and all the things, I'm definitely sending my mom this one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're like, I'm
No.
so sorry.
I'm sorry. I'll shape up. I will.
Like, I'll
the next
figure it
one,
out.
the next podcast will be so
You're
serious.
so serious.
Super spiritual. Like, no Garth Brooks. Promise.
Those two things sentence. Like, spiritual and Garth Brooks should never be in the same sentence together.
He does have a song about prayer.
Oh, really?
I don't know that it's necessarily biblical. It's been too long. I can't remember the lyrics. I'll look it up.
Oh, he's probably praying for a girl. He's probably praying for some girl to show up on the side of the road. Come
It's
on.
unanswered prayers. I don't remember, though, the details. Anyway.
Unanswered prayers. Wow.
We should answer everybody's prayers that's still watching this or listening to this episode.
We are praying for every single one of you who are watching it right now.
If you're still here, you are a trooper. You get the gold star for the best fan.
They're probably praying for us.
True. We may need
Let's
it.
be honest.
We may need it. It's been really fun to have you here, Katie.
Was this more fun than you doing it by yourself?
100 times more fun. Much more entertaining, I hope, for those that are listening or watching this episode. So, thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Katie. Have fun this week, and I'll see you next time.